Life as We Know It with Tom Walton.
Acronyms come and go. We certainly have had a lot of them here in Toledo. TAGRA, TMACOG, TARTA. More recently, we heard about something called TAWA, which is either a regional water authority that's not going to happen, or a very expensive moisturizing cream only available at fine retailers. But today at least, those bore me. Today a relatively new acronym interests me, GOAT, G-O-A-T. Maybe it's been around forever, but I only recall hearing it the last few years. GOAT is the ironic acronym for Greatest of All Time. I always thought the GOAT was not the guy who won the game, but the guy who lost it. It was an undesired distinction slapped on me a few times when I was still playing ball. Back in the day when Muhammad Ali was the most famous person on the planet, he declared himself the greatest of all time. And he probably was. But nobody called the heavyweight champion of the world a GOAT. That was then, this is now. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time? Michael Jordan or LeBron James? What makes the argument so much fun is that it's unwinnable. Each was certainly the greatest of his generation, but how do you pick one over the other? James has surpassed Jordan in several categories, but Jordan has the edge in what many consider the most important category of all, championships. Jordan has 6, James 3. Soccer's recent World Cup tournament reignited another GOAT debate. Who you got, Ronaldo or Messi? In football, you could make a strong case that Jim Brown is the best there ever was, and you would get no argument from me. But what about the great quarterbacks, from Johnny Unitas to Tom Brady, or the receivers, especially Jerry Rice? Hockey offers a fairly easy and straightforward choice as its best player of all time, Wayne Gretzky. Not for nothing was he called the Great One. Even so, Gordie Howe has to be in that discussion somewhere. What about baseball, which may present the most options and therefore becomes the toughest argument to resolve? Expansion has changed the game so much that today's best players are playing against opponents who would have been minor leaguers a few generations ago. Babe Ruth was the best player in his time, but would he be as dominant if he were a young 20-something rookie called up to the Yankees today? That's a dilemma of sports and also the beauty. Fans love arguing with each other for their favorites, and sometimes we build a case based more on emotion than logic. I went through the same thing with Tiger Woods. I grew up in the Jack Nicklaus era, and I was convinced he was the greatest golfer ever. I found myself resenting Woods' relentless chase of Nicklaus's records. With time, however, I have decided that regardless of whether Woods catches Nicklaus, Tiger is the GOAT. So here's my list of athletes who I believe were the best ever in their sport. Muhammad Ali, LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jim Brown, Wayne Gretzky, Willie Mays, Tiger Woods, and in tennis, Serena Williams. Finally, any list of GOATs has to include a horse, Secretariat. Big Red may have been the most dominant GOAT of all time. It's fine if you disagree with any of these choices. In fact, it's encouraged.
Life as We Know It is written and hosted by Tom Walton and is a production of WGTE Public Media. Life as We Know It with Tom Walton can be heard on WGTE FM 91 every Monday afternoon during All Things Considered at 5:44 p.m. Or hear past episodes at wgte.org/life.